Do you remember Leslie Abrams Gardner, the federal judge who's the sister of Stacey Abrams in Georgia, who just ruled on an election-related lawsuit about purging people from voter rolls? If you don't remember, I will include a link at the end of this video that you can click on and watch kind of the backstory. Well, we've got some interesting news here. She has, after a hearing, rolled back her other order and actually reduced it. So a quick recap is that 2 counties in Georgia wanted to remove approximately 4,000 voters from their voter rolls. The reason they wanted to do this was based on those names and voter registrations matching names on the United States Postal Service change of address information. The idea behind that is that if they change their address with the United States Postal Service, they may have moved, specifically moved out of the county or out of the state, and would therefore be ineligible to vote under the current Georgia election law, where, you know, most states you have to live in the county where you are voting. That would be the idea. And they are suggesting that people may have moved because their name showed up on this database which matched the voter registration information. So originally, the judge had issued an injunction and said they could not remove people from the voter rolls, even though those people would have been allowed to cast a provisional ballot and come in and show that they were still indeed residents of the county and eligible to vote. The judge has come to more of a middle ground between the two positions now after a hearing, and maybe, just maybe, after a little bit of public scrutiny and pressure over just how improper it looked for her to be ruling favorably on a lawsuit that involved an issue that her sister was so heavily involved in. And indeed, having the organization her sister has donated lots of money to, go ahead and issue a statement about how much they were praising the judge's decision. That probably didn't help the public perception of things. But let's talk about the new order because it is an interesting one. So it does not allow them to remove voters from the voter registration rolls. That part they are still enjoined from doing. What it does allow them to do, however, is to give any of those voters a provisional ballot. Now, the caveat to this is they can cast the provisional ballot, and the way a provisional ballot works is it then is subject to a challenge, and if the provisional ballot overcomes the challenge, it is counted. If it does not overcome the challenge, then it is tossed out. Now, the judge has said that the basis of this decision cannot be solely based on their appearance on the change of address information database. There's a federal law that actually prevents this sort of purging based solely on that database of information. But if they have any other information, they can go ahead and notify the voter that they are going to be removed and issued a provisional ballot. The voter then has the ability to challenge that distinction and overcome it. In fact, the judge has set a specific date on January 8th for them to go ahead and issue a challenge to their provisional status. Now, many of you would suggest that January 8th is after the vote, which is on January 5th, and that would be true. That would be those provisional ballots would be counted after the fact. So there's a weird possibility where if those provisional ballots would decide the election, then those senators may not be present, whoever would win, if it was that close, that those senators would not be present for the electoral vote count on January 6th, the next day. So that's kind of an interesting sort of potential outcome from this, although that would be very unlikely, as that would be the razor thinnest of margins. These are tight races, but we're talking some number less than 4,000 vote difference between two of the candidates. Now, there are, of course, 2 races going on, and it's certainly possible that that will happen, but that is unlikely. But this is an interesting demonstration that though judges will profess to be apolitical and impartial, there certainly is some sort of response to public pressure that has taken place. Of course, if you've been following election lawsuits, if you've been following Supreme Court stuff, you will know that 2020 is fraught with instances where public pressure and the ideas of legacy and politics might be influencing judicial decisions, and that illusion is crumbling pretty quickly. But anyway, I will have a link below to the order. It is right here. You can read it if you want. You can read the article that I had up on screen as well. It's from Politico, so take from it what you will. And I will have a link at the end of this video, of course, for that preliminary video I did on the subject if you want just a little bit more information about what was going on. Otherwise, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. Is this judge corrupt? Was this judge responding to public pressure, or was the judge just making the correct legal decision? What do you think about this idea that we can't purge voter rolls based on a change of address information? Do you think that's good, bad? I mean, we have a federal law about it because it's been linked to ideas of voter suppression in the past, although those are dubious sort of allegations as well. Again, drop a comment below, hit like, hit share, stay informed. Talk to you soon. Peace. Peace.